I'm a woman, so I'm going to use the women's bathroom, and being in Florida or being in California or wherever isn't going to stop me.
Another day, another LGBT influencer acting creepy in public and posting it online.
Pronoun of the day is slugs.
Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to these videos we do where I subject myself to the most absurd and disturbing LGBT woke TikToks from the perspective of a normal gay guy who hasn't entirely lost his mind quite yet for your viewing pleasure, because some of you sickos seem to like watching me lose brain cells. And we've got to return, unfortunately, trust me, I wish we didn't have to Lilly Tino, the allegedly transgender influencer who posts very controversial on TikTok and has millions of followers, and went back to Disney and posted something that really made me raise my eyebrows and ask myself, did Lilly Tino just commit a crime on camera? Take a look at this video and let me know if you have the same initial thought.
I've made it into Disney World. I don't really know what the deal is with bathrooms. You know, Florida is really conservative. I don't know what the rules are. Trans women are allowed to be in women's bathrooms, but I'm about to go and use the bathroom because I have to tinkle. If I get stopped, I get stopped, I guess. But I'm a woman, so I'm going to use the women's bathroom, and being in Florida or being in California or wherever isn't going to stop me. So I will report back in a minute once I have hopefully tinkled without issue.
3 minutes later.
That went as well as it could have gone. No one gave me any weird looks. Definitely no one stopped me. I walked in, I found a stall, I peed standing up, which is something I'm sometimes a little self-conscious about with the sound. Think, oh, is there someone peeing standing up there? But you know what? I peed standing up and it was fine. And then I washed my hands and I left. And you know what? On my way out from the women's bathroom, I took a quick picture with someone who recognized me, and it was lovely. So overall, Disney World in Florida, 10 out of 10 women's bathroom experience for trans women, would recommend.
Wow, so there's a lot here, but first, when I saw this, I wondered, isn't this against the law in Florida? Because there was another recent story about a transgender activist who specifically went into a women's bathroom at a public building, I think at the Florida State Capitol, and then got herself arrested after this law passed. But when I looked into it, I found out that this actually is not illegal, because that law only applies to public and government-owned bathrooms, and at private institutions and businesses like Disney, they still get to make their own rules and can have whatever policy they want. And I believe they do have kind of an open door policy to the women's bathroom. Make of that what you will. So I think Lilly Tino did avoid legal jeopardy with this one, luckily enough, though if Lilly really is so adamant about using the women's room anywhere Lilly goes, that might mean running afoul of the law at some point. But the reason this video still interested me and frankly disturbed me was some of the other details that Lilly included. Lilly says that Lilly chose to pee standing up in the women's bathroom. Why would an actual transgender woman who wants to blend in and doesn't want to make people uncomfortable ever do that? If anything, if Lilly was genuinely somebody who struggled from gender dysphoria and not some sort of bizarre fetishist who exploits this stuff for monetary gain and internet infamy, well, then you would expect Lilly to sit down to go to the bathroom, because it would probably give you a great deal of gender dysphoria to pee standing up. You also wouldn't want it to make that noise, confusing other women and thinking that there's a man in the bathroom, which it was just such an obvious red flag. Why would you ever do that if you had good intentions other than rage baiting? Because of course, this video went viral and made Lilly Tino a bunch of money. But the second video that Lilly Tino posted from this Disney trip is actually infinitely more disturbing to me, and I'm going to show it to you after this. My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 6 years, so I know enough about relationships to tell you that the secret to success is staying connected. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, the Paired app. Paired is a relationship app designed to help couples stay in love. It offers daily conversation starters and expert-backed advice to strengthen communication and deepen emotional connection. connection, making the journey of staying in love more enjoyable and more meaningful. It offers questions, quizzes, games, expert advice, and more that help you stay connected with your partner, have meaningful conversations, and celebrate your relationship. For example, my boyfriend and I use the app to learn about how we want to handle arguments as a couple and to discuss who bears more of the invisible mental load in our relationship. It was a really eye-opening experience. Guys, there's just really nothing more important than investing in your relationship. So click my link below to get a 7-day free trial and 25% off paired premium so you can maintain and deepen your connection with your partner. You'll be glad you did. Okay guys, so trolling the women's bathroom was apparently not enough for the incredibly ladylike Lilly Tino. Lilly also decided to film this interesting video at Disney, presumably surrounded by children, discussing genital surgery using food. And warning guys, you might lose your lunch from this one.
I think Disney's gonna ban me for this one. My corn dog is still intact. I'm not happy about that, but sadly it takes a long time to turn a corn dog into a inverted corn dog. I do hair removal every week for 2 hours straight. It is not fun or easy, but once that is finally done, hopefully by the end of the year, they are going to take my corn dog. These ears do not want to stay on. They are going to cut it down the middle. This is not the best knife for this. They will then take off the outer lining of the corn dog. Okay, I'm actually impressed that I'm doing this good of a job. Like so. Flip it inside out and make something of a tunnel. This tunnel will then become, well, you know, my hands are disgusting. Now you might be asking why I would do this or why anyone would do this. It sounds not fun. And I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to that recovery process. But know that this is not a decision that any of us take lightly. Our corn dogs do serve a purpose, but at the end of the day, I just don't like having it. It's not me. I look at it in the mirror and it's like, ugh, can we do something about that? And it turns out we can. But until then, I am making the most of my final days with my corn dog. Farewell to this thing that has served me not very well, but is what I was born with. It did its duty. R.I.P. I'm good.
I hate it here. I hate it here so much sometimes. Please tell me, what does this have to do with me as a gay person? How was this ever lumped in with me? I mean, listen, I believe that people own their bodies and adults should be free to do whatever they want. So listen, if you want to get that surgery, sounds absolutely terrible to me, but it's a free country. If you pay for that yourself, I have no issue with you getting it. I mean, it's a free country. Do what you want with your own body. But no one asked, and no one needed you to display and demonstrate with food that you then ate and make us all queasy. And in particular, there's something incredibly sinister about choosing to do this video, which Lilly has done something like this in the past as well, specifically at Disney, where you know kids are going by. Now, I understand that kids are probably not eavesdropping on the conversation you're having with your phone, and that if they are, then maybe the metaphor is lost on them. But there's just something deeply, deeply suspect about the decision to film that video there. It's intentionally antagonistic. It's fundamentally creepy to discuss sex change genital surgeries around minors in public. And the fact that you are doing it again after receiving so much backlash the last time is just more proof to me that this person is a troll. That's it. A rage baiter, a troll, an attention seeker who is enriching themselves on the back of the trans community. Because I can tell you, not all trans people are like this person, but for whatever reason, these deranged activists, posers, and I do believe fetishists have hijacked the spotlight, hijacked the microphone, and become the ones with millions of followers. And partly that's because of them putting themselves out there like this and intentionally trying to upset people. How can you feel good about yourself as a person who claims to be an ally to the trans community when you are actively doing massive damage to the reputation of that community and decreasing public support for that community every single time you post one of these inflammatory videos? Disney should ban you for this disturbing behavior in public that's not appropriate for a family-friendly environment. And I can't say that TikTok should ban you because I do believe in free expression online and allowing different voices to flourish and people to be exposed to different stuff. But it really does pain me that this person has so many followers and such a large impact, because Lilly is incredibly harmful and destructive and just unnerving in a pretty fundamental way. But what do you guys think of Miss Lilly and her lovely ladylike charm? Do let me know in the comments. Do hit that like button while you're at it, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you aren't yet. Next, we'll go through a few other funny and absurd TikToks I came across this week, including this one woman who desperately wants us to stop misgendering her baby. Take a listen.
I'm going to freak out if one more person tells me how cute my son is because I decided to dress my daughter in blue today. I am going to literally freak out. Girls are allowed to wear blue. If you do not know what a baby's gender is, if you are unsure in the smallest bit, just don't comment. Please don't say anything to me. If I want to dress my daughter in a cute blue ruffle shirt with a ruffle pants, how can you not tell that this sweet angel is a girl? But if you're not sure, that's fine. Just don't say anything to me. I can't.
So this was just funny to me because, like, it's not that deep, babe. Who cares? Why does it matter? And I'm sorry, but that baby looks like a boy. Forget the color of the outfit. If that baby was in pink, I'd think, oh, that's a boy baby dressed in pink. So just explain to people, or maybe put a little bow in her hair, or if it's really that important to you, there's probably something you can do. But please stop acting like people are committing some sort of microaggression by judging your baby at what your baby appears to look like. Like, that's not that deep. We don't need to constantly be getting offended and looking for reasons to get outraged. And your baby is adorable, but also kind of looks like a boy. And that's okay. That will probably change as she ages. But, like, give me a break, okay? Give me a break. Up next, a user who named themselves Doo Fart Face has a message for us. Take a listen and take some notes so you can be educated.
If you didn't vote in the last US election, f*** you. I love how f***ing privileged you are. So privileged to the point where you don't give a flying f*** about what happens in this goddamn country. I didn't feel comfortable voting in the last election. You're about to be very f***ing comfortable when they cut funding to f***ing Medicaid. You're about to be real comfortable when you can't get an education anymore because they cut funding to the Department of Education.
I'm sorry, I try really hard not to comment on people's appearances, but I'm telling you, that bull nose ring, I know there's a few of y'all who are real ones who do have it, but 95% of the time, when you see that thing, you know you're about to hear the worst take of your life. And this is no exception. I mean, listen, people have every right to regret their vote or not regret voting, but decreases in the amount that Medicaid spending is going to continue increasing, which is what they mean when they say Medicaid cuts, because it's the government. So they're just going to spend more money at a lower rate than they would otherwise continue to spend more money. That's the cuts that are very real. Isn't going to affect most people who are on Medicaid, and the ones who do lose it can hopefully gain insurance from another source by getting employed or applying to other programs. And more importantly, the idea that nobody will be able to get an education because we're abolishing the Department of Education is one of the most ironic and absurd statements I've ever heard, because the Department of Education doesn't educate anyone. It's all bureaucracy and regulation and finances and subsidies. They don't employ teachers. They don't run schools. That's all done, almost all, at the state and local level. So you could abolish the whole thing, which didn't even exist until like 1980, and somehow people still received educations, arguably sometimes better than they do now. It's just, listen, you don't have to support getting rid of the Department of Education. I'm personally on board with it, but you can oppose it. But to do it while making such an uneducated statement about how it works and what it means was just the chef's kiss. But please, this person clearly has it all figured out and can scold us about politics. Yes, clearly. Up next, this influencer tried to defend openly just hating all men. Take a listen.
If you're a man and you don't like when women say, oh my god, I hate men, watch this video. A woman says, I hate men. That means because she's largely had negative experiences with men. But it's not all men. I know, but it's a lot, and the sentiment underlying that is we don't know which men are safe. So if you become reactive, you start yelling at us about how it's not all men and some men are good. Show us. Show us. Don't get defensive, just be there and listen to what we have to say, because trust me, you will be horrified by a lot of our experiences. If we find a man that we like, we will be loyal for as long as we possibly can. There will be no one to even cheat with. We don't like most men. We stay away from them because we feel unsafe.
So there's a little bit of nuance on this one, because I was absolutely horrified in my first job after college when my young female friends started telling me about the things they would experience every day walking from the subway station to the office, like sexual harassment and all sorts of terrible treatment from men. And all of that is legitimate, and I'm not here to tell women they don't have the right to feel nervous or uncomfortable around men or anything like that. But yes, the idea of I hate all men or I hate men is clearly toxic. It is clearly the kind of rhetoric that only further antagonizes the male sex and pushes people more towards the like red pill charlatans and all of that. And I mean, you are stereotyping people and you are discriminating against an entire group of people. And it doesn't matter if you've had bad personal experiences with some members or even many members of a group, it's still wrong to do that. I mean, just swap out race for gender in this context and ask yourself, would it be okay to say, I hate black people? Well, he's had a lot of bad experiences with black people. That doesn't matter. It's still not okay to hate all of them because of your subjective personal experiences that may or may not be representative. You have to judge individuals by the merits of their own actions. And it's okay to I think, be on guard around men. Women do face safety threats and all that. But this I hate men rhetoric is clearly, in my view, discriminatory, toxic, and divisive, and just makes these gender wars even more and more extreme than they already are. And I just did not think that this influencer made a very good argument in defense of that approach. But you guys let me know in the comments. Okay, guys, I'll leave it there for this edition of me subjecting myself to brain rot for your entertainment and viewing pleasure. Please do reward my suffering with a like. Do comment with your thoughts down below. Do make sure to subscribe if you aren't yet. Thank you to the Paired app for sponsoring today's video, and we'll talk again real soon.